All right, it's 9 o'clock. Convene the meeting of April 29th, 9 a.m. EDA of Front Royal, Warren County. Are there additions and deletions to our agenda by anyone? Hearing none, we'll move to approval of the minutes. Does anybody need a minute or two to look over that?
I have one correction on March 27th at the bottom. It says, on the motion by James Patterson.
I was thinking of yeah, that's what happens when you
See, I did read stuff.
All right, with that correction, have a motion to accept the minutes.
Second.
All those in favor of accepting the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I don't think we did a motion to approve the agenda. I think we just asked for additions and deletions.
Can we approve the agenda?
Well, let's approve the minutes.
Okay.
Oh, you want
You
to
said at the beginning we approved the agenda.
Yeah.
If you asked for additions or deletions, I don't think we did.
I didn't hear anybody say anything.
Okay.
So motion to approve the agenda.
Okay.
Second.
All right. Now, how about a motion to approve the minutes as presented to us?
We have to vote on the
Already
first.
done that?
So you need to vote on the first one.
Okay.
Aye.
Aye.
It's early morning, no worries.
Okay. Are we finished with 1, 2, and 3?
You don't have to do each of number 3 individually because there are some meetings where you were not present, so we can't just vote on all of them at one time.
Well, we just made a move to accept them.
But you would have to abstain.
I abstained from the ones that I was not at.
Which ones were that?
April 15, 17, and 24.
Okay, that just needs to be in the minutes.
Okay. With that in the minutes, we have approval of the minutes. Other than that. Okay, are we moving to financials? Financials are at this time not complete.
It's complete, they'll be presented to the board later on.
Later in the week,
Yes, sir.
Okay. County Administrator update, Doug Stan.
Good morning. Two things to report on my report. Development Review Committee met March 27. They also met last week. I'll give you this update. They just met last Wednesday, but we've been working with Christian College Chapel. Existing lots, about 10 lots that are being built there across the Catholic, the church out there. And the Crooked Run West development, they had a public planning commission and a public hearing on April 10th. The planning commission voted 2-1. They had 2 members that were not in attendance. Voted to recommend denial of the request to the Board of Supervisors. We've just gotten a revised traffic impact analysis, which VDOT is in the process of reviewing, so I know that will delay it getting to the Board of Supervisors. In town, they discussed potential daycare on South Commerce. There's a new ice vendor I see that's been installed out there by right lot next to Joe's Steakhouse. So that's one of the things where you go up, swipe your card, and get a $2 bag of ice. Also, interior alterations at A.S. Roads Elementary School, like Ressi, A.S. Roads is in need of some renovation work, including the replacement of the roof and central air, removal of the exterior individual classroom AC units. Discussed the possible Sheetz gas station. I believe Sheetz is now looking at the Shenandoah Motel right there on the east side of Shenandoah Avenue. Before they were looking at the gas station, former vet clinic, right when you come across the bridge on the right or the west side. The motel on the left has been for sale. I believe that's the site they're currently taking a look at. Budget, the board held a budget public hearing on April 9th. Did the reassessment. The board will hold a public hearing on proposed tax rate until May 7. As proposed, the tax rate will go from 66 cents to an equalized rate of 59.5 and back up to 65.5, which technically represents an increase of 6 cents. At the proposed rate, Warren County would still have third lowest real estate tax rate among our neighbors. Manual trucking, the Board of Supervisors at the meeting on April 16th approved a conditional use permit for Michael and Patricia Manuel for a 5-acre site for a motor freight terminal. The site is located on Winters Court behind the RSW Regional Jail, and a portion of the property owned by Walker Brew. Manual trucking currently employs 30 people, including 24 tractor trailer drivers. Their current location is in the Kelly Industrial Park, which is their leasing space at the KI facility. So they will be relocating out there to Winters Court. The terminal will include a maintenance repair garage and office for the trucking business. Again, I mentioned Crooked Run North, the fact that that's working its way to the Planning Commission and the Board of Supervisors. Reassessment, the Board of Equalization will continue to meet, I guess, today and tomorrow, the last days. I don't know, Emily, do you remember what days they were scheduled this week to meet? But they are wrapping up their hearings this week and for folks that have filed an appeal. Joint Tourism Committee met on April 10th and discussed the wayfinding signage program and discussed the schedule for design and implementation, best practices for wayfinding possible tourist destinations for the signs. They also received an updated meeting on the upcoming Wine and Craft Festival, received an update on the new building at Backroom Brewery. The committee will meet again on June 12th. Project updates, of course, we closed on the bonds for RESI, for the Health and Human Services, and for Rivermont, thanks to the EDA for helping us do that part of the process. And the good news is we've been able to clear off all that debt associated with those projects off our lines of credit. I had it in my report when I typed it up. They were waiting on the FAA. We actually got a response from the FAA and clearance to move forward with that project. So we'll be working with the contractor to get necessary things in place to start moving forward with the contract and start the construction in the next few weeks. Commercial projects work continues on the Marriott Town Place Suites. Like last week, they were putting in landscaping. I still think they're looking for a June 2019 completion and opening. Valvoline still under construction. They're actually, looks like they're coming pretty far along. I would think by June they probably be getting close to being ready to open as well. Taco Bell, as far as I know, all plans have been approved. I don't know if we got final DQ approval, and they still, as of yet, have yet to start construction. But that should be the next project starting. So with that, we have to answer any questions the board may have.
I have a question. I'm sorry, I'm going to leave for a minute. The Crooked Run North that got rejected.
So the Planning Commission, 2-1 vote, and they had 2 members that were unable to get the meeting, recommended denial. So it will go to the Board of Supervisors. There's a traffic impact analysis they have to submit. Part of that with residential, it'll actually reduce the anticipated traffic trips. So VDOT's currently in the process of reviewing that. That ultimately will dictate the amount of infrastructure needed for the project. So my guess is it'll probably be June at the earliest before the board would have a public hearing on the project.
And did it have plans for housing that, that maybe teachers and stuff could?
They had, so the project included 600 apartments and what they were terming workforce. We've asked them to try to help quantify that as far as their proper statement, exactly what that means. It also included some senior units or a retirement community of a couple hundred units, some single family attached like townhomes, and about 125 single family detached, so kind of normal standard.
It looks like, what I read in the paper, though, it looks like if the town is willing to give water out there,
Right.
that's a big problem even if they approve it, isn't it?
It is an issue because if they don't, it's going to have central water and sewer, whether it's town or private, and given the location, I think it's pretty much they would need town water and sewer. The town had committed up to 40,000 gallons a day, I believe, for the commercial development. So this is the change from that. That's what would necessitate approval from the town to provide water for any uses other than commercial. Emily, you had?
Yeah, the Board of Equalization is meeting today from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock, and then tomorrow from 9 a.m. to noon. And tomorrow is the last day.
So,
Is there any chance the board will send us back?
it's possible, especially if the applicant changes the application, I would think. changes from either what's offered or maybe even the proper statement was simply change them and kick it back. Yeah.
I wondered about the development review committee. Should the EDA have someone representative?
Your executive director is usually in attendance.
Okay.
And they are invited to that.
Okay.
And really, the goal of the committee started off is that, a lot of our first contacts are to the EDA. And to really get the EDA to say, hey, we have this development review committee that meets once a month. If you've got some development questions, let's get you on the agenda. So the director could contact Taryn, who's planning director, and say, hey, we've got a prospect who'd like to be on the agenda to talk some questions. It is a public meeting, so I would think in those cases the developer will be fairly far along, at least past the initial stages, and be willing to be public with it. But they're able to sit down with Virginia Department of Transportation, Virginia Department of Health, Town Public Utilities, Rappahannock Electric, and kind of get all their questions answered at one location at one time.
May the 7th is the budget hearing.
That's correct. Tuesday evening, 7
Can you reserve seats for that?
You get front row seats, EDA. You can say some things for him.
Any further questions?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Town manager's report.
Mr. Walsh is out of town.
He's out of town. Okay. So we'll move to item 7. Executive director.
I want to call the board's attention to a number of things. This is my last board meeting, hopefully. I say that tongue in cheek. I enjoy working with folks. But looking at the list of meetings that you've had, you as a board have been working hard. You've had 7 meetings since March 22nd. And so that says a lot about your commitment to righting the ship and fostering economic development here in the county and the town. I'd also like to say thank you to Doug Stanley for working with us on getting some agreements together in conjunction with some properties and all the cooperation that we've had from the county, and also to Emily Mounts. The minutes that you have, the March 22nd minutes, which are fairly complex, were compiled by Emily, and she's here again today until we have an administrative assistant on board, but she's done an excellent job with the minutes together. In regard to things we talk about publicly about business prospects, I just want you to be aware that we have been active in the business prospect area. It's not just that the EDA is dealing with financial issues. We've been working jointly with the county to schedule several business meetings and showings of the Atlantic Skyline building. We've actually, working cooperatively with the county, tendered an offer to a company to relocate there on a lease purchase basis. And we have 2 competitive proposals to the Virginia Economic Development Partnership, which are still outstanding on that building. So that building, talking to commercial brokers out of Northern Virginia, that building is one of few buildings in the area that is available and is a quality construction. And I've walked that building many times, and it's a nice, clean, open building. It's been well maintained in the past, and it's an asset to the county, even though it's currently vacant, and it won't be vacant, we don't believe, very long, because there are prospects for it. We have tendered a lease to a company that's a startup company that also may be coming before your small business loan review committee to do wine testing, and that would be testing the acidity of wine. Apparently there's no company in the area. The space that they'll be leasing from the EDA will be right next to us here in and so that lease is being reviewed by the folks now. They would like to move in and begin business in June of this year.
Any type of text amendment, so already allowed by the town center?
As far as I know, we've been working with several prospective developers for the EDA. The county and the town to market the McKay Springs property, which is at the intersection of 345-22 and Reliance Road. We've had a number of interested parties in that property recently who would like to take down either one of the lots or the whole acreage, which is a preferred option. We do have an appraisal ongoing for other properties of the EDA, as I mentioned to the board in the past, and they are going to do an appraisal on that property because we haven't had one done recently. So there's a prospect of that being sold as well.
The sign out there says 9.85 acres or something like that. Now, is there more property back behind that we have?
Yeah, I don't know if y'all were on the board, but the EDA purchased, there used to be a mobile home park there. They purchased that property, so it runs to the back of where that mobile home park was. It runs parallel to 340, makes it jag to the west, to the north, and then back to 340.
Wasn't the mobile home park all floodplain?
Most of it, yes. That was purchased to provide additional acreage for the overall property, for buffers, as well as to, I guess, ensure that you had enough acreage out on the front portion there, because not all the EDA property is in floodplain. That would be combined with the property in the corner, which is in about the town, as I understand it, to make a more serviceable lot.
Like 9.85 or something, that's the total amount?
Yes.
Okay, there's not additional. Okay.
Do we own property on both sides of the Reliance Road?
No.
Because the right-hand side was the Cedarville grocery, and then it had the water on it, and that was some that the town, and I don't think the county maybe was involved with it too because of the spring there.
So there was, you had the original spring property, which went with the Cedarville grocery, and that was purchased by the town of Front Royal. You had the old McKay house that the town and county jointly purchased. You had a 3/4 acre, 9/10 acre parcel that the county received from DuPont that included where the billboard included part of the spring property. And then you had the 2.06 or so acres that was the mobile home park. Probably about 2/3 of the mobile home park is shown in the floodplain, but of course you can park in the floodplain, so any development will include that. One of the things that the county's doing is working with Pinoni to develop a development plan of the site to see can you get 2 or 3 pad sites, what the access would look like, to be able to rezone the 2 acres around the mobile home park is the only piece that's not zoned commercial right now. So that's the next step of the process. But as John said, we've had defensive interest in that site. So hopefully we'll be in a position in about 2 or 3 months to really start pushing that site as a potential development site.
Also, within the last week, we've initiated discussions with developers seeking approximately 25 acres for a major trucking facility. Because of the port here, because of all your industry, the distribution centers, there's going to be a market for that. So we're going to be speaking to that in more detail in the next couple of weeks. Had a call from a regional law firm last week that's seeking office in the downtown area, which we'll be talking to the town about. And we're speaking with a couple of developers about large acreage parcels in the vicinity of 50 to 75 acres for prospective businesses. Another person who's been instrumental in this effort, in the absence of a full-time director, has been Karen Logan. Karen's taken on a lot of responsibility to work with me in getting some proposals together for VEDP, as well as showing the building out there. And Karen is a real asset. I would also note to the board, and just for public consumption, there are over 3,000 counties in the United States. And almost everybody wants to create jobs and expand tax base. You're in a competition. Economic development does not happen quickly. Sometimes it doesn't happen easily. It's through perseverance, hard work, and sometimes limited creativity. And I say limited creativity with financing, that you can get things done. And so you as a board, with all of the contacts that we have had in the past, with your new director coming in, you have a lot of opportunity here because there's a lot of interest in Front Royal in Warren County. I've worked in communities where there's been almost no interest. I worked in the county for 1 year, we had no building permit applications during a recession. And so the level of activity here is good. What you've accomplished in the past, the 2,500 jobs that have been created, up in the 340, 522 corridor and other places, it's a testament to, rebuilding this site. The HVAC guys that were here working on this building had a conversation with one of the mechanics. And his mother had worked here and was tough. He was telling me about how they used to bring folks in buses from outside the county to work, how it was a tremendous resource for the county, and how hard it was on the county when those jobs left. And those jobs, not all of them, have been recreated, but many of them have through the efforts of the EDA, the town and the county working together, and through all three working together in the future, you can continue that momentum. You hit a snag right now, but that's going to be, you're going to be over that. I want to move on to administrative assistant recruitment. I've spoken to a couple of folks already, and your new director and I will be interviewing some folks today. We hope to have somebody on board and employed by the 29th. Excuse me, today's 29th. by next week. Board bylaw revisions. I've taken a look at your bylaws in conversations with Dan. I've made some suggested changes and incorporated the committees that authorize into the bylaws to formalize it. Dan's not had a chance to review that yet, but those will be coming to you after my departure for your consideration. Your administrative personnel statement, that was last updated in the year 2000, and there have been a lot of changes in human resources law as well as regulation since 2000. It's 19 years. And so I'm working on revising those. They're about 75% done. They'll be done and passed on to Dan for review and to your new director coming in prior to my departure. Dan and I are continuing to work with the Afton folks. We met with the town council last week along with the developers. Did receive a call from the town that we need to get the grass cut, so the developers cutting the grass today at the site so it doesn't become a nuisance. But we'll be meeting, Dan and I will be meeting with the developer with the lending institution on Thursday of this week to talk about financing the construction and options that exist. We continue to do that. We have the town is a little bit more receptive to some of the ideas of the developer than they were to us. And so hopefully we can put a package together that can continue the construction of that building, which is really vital to the downtown corridor, the historic corridor in Main Street. And it would be a real cornerstone for that end of Main Street and the downtown corridor. And then the last thing I want to touch on, it's not a very sexy topic, but it's maintenance of our facilities. I've touched on this a couple times in the past, and when I arrived at my first board meeting in January, we were talking about replacing the roof on the building. And what we have done is we've reached out to, in concert with the county, who have provided us lists of contractors that they use for heating, ventilating, and air conditioning, as well as roofing, had an assessment done of authority structures. We are working on repairs we will be working on repairs to the Stoke Smart roof where there is a leak. And then there are options for replacement of that roof that you may need to consider in the future if you retain ownership of the building. We've also had a couple of leaks in other buildings, which I won't go into detail on. You have a 30-year-old building where you have a business which has some high-tech type of equipment, piece of equipment with water on it costs the owner of that structure about $750,000 if you get water on it. And so we're going to have to take a look at dealing with that roof sometime in the near future. HVAC, the county does not do HVAC. It's complex, it requires certain types of technicians to do that. So again, the county provided us the name of some contractors. We're working with a contractor now to do an assessment of all properties. And what we found is a variety of repairs that need to be done, but we do have a routine maintenance program now in place. And I'll be sharing with your new director for consideration in the future, because it can't be something that you make a decision on the fly. A list of repairs and replacements that need to take place in regard to heating, ventilating, and air conditioning units in facilities. I provide a little bit more detail in regard to reports as part of my report, but in general, what we found was there hadn't been a whole lot of maintenance done in HVAC or any of our structures at all. We now have a routine, regular system of maintenance in place, and so at least for HVAC, it should be in good shape in the future. So with that, I'll answer any questions that you might have.
Have there been any discussions on the exactly mechanism if the county takes over as fiscal agent as to what structure has to be done here and what structures are done by them and how that is worked out? You and Doug discussed that yet?
We've had a preliminary discussion now on maintenance. We've had a discussion, and we're going to go into more detail on that later today. In regard to the fiscal agent status of the relationship between the EDA and the county, that's on the Board of Supervisors' consideration for the itself.
I think so, if you're good with the, yeah.
And then we have to work out the details. And we have a generalized agreement for how that will work, but there's a few details still working on.
So as a follow-up, the authority is going to see an agreement to approve, correct? For the fiscal agent,
Yeah.
how it's actually.
We'll have an agreement, just like the county has, the county has an agreement with Skyline Regional Justice Academy, and so it'd be similar to that agreement.
That will come properly at your meeting.
Yes, sir.
I would like to request that the sale of the Stokes property be an item on the agenda.
We can accommodate that.
We should have an appraisal back for that.
Appraisal should be done by then. It's underway now.
Anything more, John?
No, sir.
Thank you. Okay. We will move to old business. Anyone have anything they would like to bring up on their old business?
Questions? You had sent out a note, Mr. Anzivino, regarding the EDA training.
Yes.
And
We
any
have
update on that?
3 members who will be attending, registering for the session then. Dr. Patterson, Chairman, and yourself.
Okay. That's the 21st and 22nd, something like that?
22nd and 23rd.
22nd, 23rd.
I think that's right.
Okay.
Okay, and you get a follow-up on that once we get you registered.
I'm sorry, what kind of training?
Oh, it's EDA board training and new director training as well.
Director comments?
Thank John for getting us through the last couple of months.
Oh, absolutely. Not sure what we've done with that.
Second.
You came in with a lot of experience and knowledge that we really needed.
Well, you know, it couldn't have been done just by myself. I've had a lot of help. Dan's been rock solid. The board's always been available when needed, and the county has been a tremendous resource. And when needed, Joe Waltz has been very helpful as well. So you don't do this by yourself. You do it as a group. You do it collectively and pull folks in when you need folks. let them kind of slide back around and pull some other folks in.
But you still need to organize it.
Somebody's got to decide how that happens.
Well, I told Dan the first day that I walked in the door, he was here, and he taught me so much information, my head almost exploded. But he has a real handle on this organization. He is a tremendous asset to you. I really enjoy working with him. I don't say that about every attorney I work with.
Appreciate it.
Okay, we have a closed session. Would someone like to lead us into that, please?
You should have a motion in your packet.
All in one motion?
So,
I, Ed Daley, move that the board of the EDA vote to do a closed meeting under the provisions of section 2.2-3711 of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act for the following purposes. Virginia Code section 2.2-3711-.A.1 discussion, consideration, or interviews of prospective candidates for employment, assignment, appointment, promotion, performance, demotion, salaries, discipline, resignation of specific public officers, appointees, or employees of any public body. I further move that this such discussion be limited to the executive director. Virginia Code section 2.2-3711.A.5 discussion concerning a prospective business or industry or expansion of an existing business or industry where no previous announcement has been made of the businesses or industries interested in locating or expanding its facilities in the community. I further move that this discussion be limited to businesses to be located on the Avtech site, Stevens Industrial Park, Main Street, and or Happy Creek area. Virginia Code section 2.2-3711.A.7 consultation with legal counsel and briefings by staff members or consultants pertaining to actual or probable litigation where such consultation or briefing of an open meeting would adversely affect the negotiating or litigating power posture of the public body. I further move that such discussion be limited to the case of Industrial Development Authority versus Jennifer McDonald et al. Virginia Case Code section 2.2-3711.A.8 consultation with legal counsel employed or retained by a public body regarding specific legal matters requiring the provision of legal advice of such counsel. I further move that such discussion be limited to discussion of accounting and debt service issues. Bailey, aye.
Drummond, aye.
Blanton, aye.
Patterson, aye.
Okay, gentlemen, we're in closed session. All right, gentlemen, someone want to read the...
Can't wait for Bruce.
Oh, sorry, okay.
57.
Yeah. Well, it was warm yesterday afternoon, and then late afternoon it turned chilly.
Yeah. B-spot.
It was about 80 on Saturday. Yeah. And it was warm.
Tomorrow, it's still there. On the motion by Patterson, second by Drummond, the board certifies that to the best of each member's knowledge that only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements under this chapter and only such policy business matters as were identified in the motion by which the closed meeting is convened were heard, discussed, or considered in the meeting by the public body. Patterson, yes.
Haynes, yes.
Blanton, aye. Okay, we're closed. We have two items on new business. And I think we have, we'll make that statement.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I would like to make a motion to accept the terms of the proposed employment agreement and appoint Douglas Parsons as the Warren County Economic Development Authority Executive Director effective May 8, 2019.
Second.
All those in favor of that motion, say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Carried. We have now a new Economic Development Authority Executive Director.
I would like to make a motion to amend the provisions of our agreement with our interim director, John Anzivino, and extend it to May 10th, 2019.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, we have John until the 10th. Any other business to come before the board?
Is our next meeting the fourth Friday in May?
Now, I know we're having to move these meetings around due to my work schedule. However, the 24th of May is good for me, and we'll be back on that set schedule. Is that good for everyone else? May 24th will be the fourth Friday.
I think it's important for, particularly for Mr. Baker's schedule.
Yes.
You know, he schedules these meetings that he's got to do weeks in advance, and so if we can keep on the fourth Friday, then we all know it, and we can, when there's an emergency, that's different, but this would let them know ahead of time.
8 or 9.
Now, we do have,
8 or 9, I don't care.
we do have a little thing we're going to in Richmond that is that same week. Now,
Yeah.
it's over on Thursday, so we'll be back. Okay, good.
So do it Friday morning at 8,
Friday morning at 8, sounds good to me.
24th. Okay.
Thank you.
Any other business?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we're adjourned.